Hi, I'm Mark Woolbright. Welcome back to the Green Wall Mojo blog. Today I'd like to go back and look at a wall that was built, a living wall that was built with my former product back in 2004, I believe. And the owner of this particular project, and this was a factory by the way, he wanted to expand his parking adjacent to a warehouse building. And he had seen one of our living walls previously, and it was planted with ivy, and he loved it. And he wanted his wall to look just that same way, and he wanted to minimize its impact. And so we built a wall for him and consulted with him on plant material. And really, this is one of those situations where I learned a lot, because we planted the entire wall with Baltic ivy. And this wall has a northward face that faces a ravine and some woods. Then it has a straight westward face that faces into the setting sun. And we knew it was going to get probably too much sun and heat for that ivy. And then part of the wall that faces west goes behind a building, and we knew that would be fine for the ivy. Well, history has shown that we should have made a bigger issue out of planting it with something different in that setting sun exposure. We could have had ivy facing north, ivy where it was blocked by the building, and maybe something more appropriate for the heat and sun exposure in the middle of that faced the setting sun. We didn't do that, and a lot of that ivy got burned out, and it's got some spots where nothing's growing, or maybe there's just some weeds and whatever happened to be blown in by the wind. Even though it's not grown in as we had intended it, it's still a very interesting project and worth looking at and learning a few things from. So hope you enjoy this little short segment, and you see it the way I do. There's positives and benefits to just about everything that's been done in the past, and we can learn from it and move forward and progress in our niche and our industry. So I'd like to hear your comments. Take care.
Now this is a great example of putting a great plant in a not so great place, or at least a place it doesn't like so much. Now this is an industrial wall. This is a factory, and they've got parking up on top here above this warehouse building, and they wanted this wall. And the owner of the factory had seen an ivy-covered Hercules wall and loved it, and that's what he wanted. And we'd kind of thought that it really needed a different plant because of this setting sun. This wall looks straight west, and you can see the sun right on this. This is about 5:30 in the evening, and this sucker gets a lot of sun. It gets pretty hot. Now you see in the shade of the building back there, you see how nice that ivy is. It's loving it. It is the perfect plant back there. And of course it's a factory, and they've done no maintenance on this because they don't really feel like they need to. They got the structure. Now look over here. It turns the corner and it faces north. And this wall goes way back there, and of course they've got a lot of brush from the woods here that's overgrown in there, but the ivy's doing great there too. In fact, you could just pull a couple of weeds and it'd be wonderful. But right here in the dead center, where it just gets a lot of heat, the ivy has burned out. This is a great place for lots of other plants. Something in the sedum family would have done great. Maybe even some different vines that just like the sun. We got a little goldenrod up there, which is nice. But either way, that goldenrod is a nice piece of habitat. A lot of creatures that depend on that for their life cycle, and that's another point to be made here. Is even though this isn't performing aesthetically as I would like it, or maybe we would have intended for it, it's still a habitat for a great many creatures, and it's still nice and cool, and fits into a heat island reduction scheme, and it has reduced its impact by covering over. Still a wonderful green structure, living wall. Well, that's really nice back there. That's really nice back there. That's lush. Interesting little case study. I love this business. I love getting the chance to go back and take a look at some of these projects that we've done over the years, for the good or the bad. We learned something from them. This one was installed, I want to say, in 2004. So this has been in for about 6 years. It's 2010 right now.